David Corenswet's Superman suit drew comparisons to Henry Cavill's suit in Zack Snyder's films, and fans were clearly not happy. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Snyder has now weighed in on the suit, which has drawn comparisons to his suit. The Man of Steel director shared that he has to see the movie to tell how the suit worked as a piece of storytelling. Interestingly, Gunn brought back an interesting aspect that has divided DC fans. The red trunks, Zack Snyder's Superman suit, kept things simple and Henry Cavill's body flawlessly fitted right into it. Fans may not have the same opinion about David Corenswet's costume in the upcoming Superman film. James Gunn revealed the costume via his social media, a design inspired by the suit in earlier Richard Donner movies. On the other hand, when Henry Cavill wore the tight-fitted suit, it showed his perfectly well-defined body. After the release of the first look, many fans shared that they missed Snyder and Cavill's version of Superman. When the Rebel Moon director appeared for a recent interview with The Hollywood Handle, he was asked about Corenswet's suit. Snyder refrained from making any definitive comment on the suit. He shared that he had to see it in the movie to form an opinion. He wanted to know how the costume worked in the storytelling department. However, he shared that he was excited to see the new suit in action in Superman. Snyder shared with The Hollywood Handle, "I'm gonna say that, let's see it in the movie. I'm interested to see how it works, as a piece of storytelling. But I am excited. I'm excited to see it. It's probably wise for the fans also to wait and see the suit in action in the movie before judging it too soon." Elsewhere in the interview, Snyder shared about returning for a collaboration with Warner Bros. After DCU in the upcoming 300 series. Snyder shared that he still has a great affection for the studio. Ever since James Gunn released the first look of David Corenswet's Kal-El from Superman, fans were divided on the superhero suit, via X. As Gunn took over from Zack Snyder, it was obvious that fans would compare the suit to the earlier DCU movies. Corenswet's first look in the suit did not go well as the costume looked baggy on the actor. David Corenswet's suit included an S logo that was reminiscent of the Kingdom Come symbol. It was a new addition to live-action movies. The film also went back to the old Superman movies to get some of the details right, like the iconic boots and the red trunks. Fans are still divided over the trunks, which was a point of discussion months before the filming even began. Before the suit was revealed, James Gunn shared on Threads that he was getting a vast amount of messages regarding the trunks. He shared that so many DC fans were expressing strong feelings for or against the trunks. The Guardians of the Galaxy director shared that it was not the most important aspect of Superman or his story. Corenswet's Superman suit also features some unique ideas. The cape in the suit connects differently beneath the collarbones. The high collar design is inspired by the DC Comics' New 52 suit. Henry Cavill's Superman could have been even more powerful. The darkness that he held within himself was one of the most. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Concerning changes for fans. At the same time, the character's powers and abilities were kept as accurate as possible. While this may have been the case in the final product of the character across 3 films, the original plan seemed to have been a lot different. During an interview, Snyder revealed his true ending for the character, and many fans would be upset with an ability he almost put into the films. Zack Snyder's vision for Superman can easily be called one of the most controversial takes on the character. While there is certainly a swarm of fans who would do anything to see Henry Cavill take on the role again, there is no denying that this take was not very accurate. There were several aspects of the character that were left out, and new additions were made that fans were not happy with the mass outrage over the directorial cut. It was revealed that the film was finished by Joss Whedon, who strayed very far from Snyder's original vision. During the interview, the Rebel Moon director talked about how he originally wanted to end the story for Superman's character, and it is safe to say that many would be surprised. He was going to have to succumb to the anti-life, be destroyed, turn the clock back, and then get his chance for this battle against Darkseid. If you will, that would have finished his trilogy of becoming this Guardian, and sort of return him to his humanity. Zack Snyder once gave an interview with GQ, where he talked about some of his most iconic films of all time. Naturally, he touched on his work for the DC Universe, starting with Man of Steel, moving on to Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and finally talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. The original version of the final film has been regarded as one of the most controversial films in the franchise. While he did not elaborate further on what he meant by the statement, It could be possible that he was hinting that Cavill's character would have been able to time travel by the end of the movie. While talking about a painful arc for Henry Cavill's character and his eventually becoming the purest version of himself, Snyder casually mentioned a seemingly insignificant detail that would have changed the entire DC universe. The filmmaker stated that Superman would have to turn the clock back to get another chance to fight Darkseid. According to some instances in the DC universe, if someone can run or fly fast enough, they would be able to travel through time. Since it has been mentioned in several comics that Superman is close to Flash's speed, it would not be impossible for him to time travel. The concept of time travel is not new to the DC universe, be it in comics, TV series, or movies. The Flash is most famous for messing up timelines and then struggling to clean up the mess. So much so, that Flashpoint has become one of the most infamous points in the entire franchise. Many other characters also have the same ability, however, Superman is one who is rarely shown using it. In fact, it is one of the lesser-mentioned abilities of the character, last seen in Christopher Reeve's Superman, the movie where Clark Kent had to change history by going around the Earth extremely fast. While Snyder may have had a different plan in mind, for relating to Kent's past compared to the world, the addition would have certainly been an interesting one. With James Gunn's DCU, fans hope to see a lot of wrongs righted after WB's disastrous handling of the DCU. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's Superman has gotten fans anticipating what the new era of the DC universe will bring for the fans after the disastrous DCU. The Guardians of the Galaxy director has promised a Superman who is much closer to the comic version of the character, as opposed to the more realistic take that Zack Snyder took with his version of Superman. While Zack Snyder's Superman took a bold and novel approach with Superman in the DCU, the character failed to resonate with the fandom at large but was well loved by a core group of fans. However, James Gunn's version of the characters is sticking to its comic roots, creating a character that is much more familiar with the larger fandom. After the experimental approach that the DCU took with its cinematic universe, James Gunn's DCU is going to focus on bringing the heroes back to their roots. With how popular the characters of DC are, the franchise need not spend the time to lay the groundwork that the MCU had to do, allowing James Gunn to dive directly into an established world to create his connected universe of characters. In all fairness, Snyder showed Superman saving people in MOS and BVS. But yes, point still stands, we need more of him doing it. There have been a significant amount of criticisms when it comes to Snyder's vision of Superman, with a slew of fans feeling that the character was not accurately represented by the 300 director in the DCU. While a slew of fans welcomed the realistic approach for the character, others felt that the myth of the Man of Steel was desecrated in Snyder's DCU. Zack Snyder turned Superman into a Jesus allegory, something that might not have been congruent with the character, despite his death and resurrection narrative. Superman, first and foremost, has been a Moses allegory, something that remains utterly absent in Snyder's version of the character. This focused the narrative on Superman sacrificing himself, rather than shepherding a better tomorrow for the people of Earth, which might be the reason why the character failed to resonate with the larger fandom while being the quintessential version of the character for a section of the same. Snyder's Superman definitely functioned best in its own universe but was not the Superman that is widely recognized by fans. While Man of Steel deals with the personal struggles of the character, Superman's stories usually inspire hope because he is able to separate his struggles as Kal-El from his responsibilities as Superman.